Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. Today we're going to be breaking down this lighting setup and how exactly I took these photos. I recently did a video with my friend Tina where we shot this same exact setup, but each did it a little bit differently. She used flash and then I used continuous lights like I am using right now. And we got some really cool results. And I also got some really nice feedback from you guys around that shoot. So just wanted to say thank you as well. And I also think more collaborations with other photographers has to happen again soon here on my channel, so let me know if you'd like to see more of those, and maybe also let me know which photographers you would like me to shoot with. But I've done it again since I did it with Tina, and this time I did it at a workshop I hosted with Nikon, and I used a different model, also different colored fabric, but I wanted to dive more into detail with the exact materials and lighting I used to create it, so you can do it yourself, because it's really not that difficult, and it creates really stunning results, and you can obviously make it all your own. You could use different lights or even different colored fabrics as well. So let's get into it. Let's start now with the lights that I used. To note, you definitely do not have to use the exact lights I did with my setup. Anything really bright will work. You just want to be sure your lighting can connect to a modifier, because that's sort of the key in creating that soft, glowy, sort of dreamlike effect. But the first light that I used is the Zhiyun Molus X60. That's the light I used on my shoot with Tina. And I love this light because it's super small, but it's also really powerful. It has a full hue spectrum of colors you can choose from. The only thing is, because it's so small, it needs a Bowens mount adapter for us to be able to attach on the exact modifier that I wanted. So for my workshop that second time around, where I was trying this setup again, I used a different light. So I changed out the Molus X60 for Nanlight's Forza 300B2, and I also changed the fabric to a purple. And the modifier I used for my shoots was this strip box from Godox, which I'll leave below a link to on Amazon, because there's so many different options, and also this particular one comes in different sizes and shapes. But I decided to go ahead and put a grid onto my strip box here, and this just allows the light to be able to be more contained and sort of directional onto what's below it, so the model. And it doesn't necessarily create a spotlight effect. It's not like super harsh. It's just so that the light doesn't really like spill everywhere. So far we have that light from Nanlight. Then we have that strip softbox modifier. And while we have this up at a pretty high elevation using a light stand, before we do that, we want to attach my favorite part of the setup, which is the fabric. And this is also just from Amazon. There are so many different colored options to choose from, which is so fun. Obviously, me and Tina went with that brown color, which I thought looked amazing. But again, I just wanted to switch it up the next time around for my workshop, where I used that sort of lavender. And I say this part is really fun because I feel like whatever color you choose is really kind of what you're going to base your whole shoot off of, in a way. Because, for example, maybe you're shooting an engagement and you want to lean more towards like white colors or champagnes. For both of my shoots, I opted for a monochromatic look. So I chose, again, that purple lavender color backdrop, and also had the model wearing something that matched too. But you can literally do anything you want with this. You can pull from maybe like primary colors and do a red backdrop like this and have the model wear something yellow with a blue sort of backdrop. You can literally do whatever. But I got my fabric in the 25 yard size, also from Amazon, which I'll link below too. And it is this sort of like chiffon sheer material, so it's really lightweight and also really easy to work with. I will say it obviously comes sort of folded up, so when I ended up taking it out, there was a lot of wrinkles that were definitely distracting when I went to shoot. You could definitely see the wrinkles in the photos. So you can either bring a steamer with you on the shoot to get those wrinkles out. Maybe the studio has one that you're shooting in, or you can also edit them out, which is also time consuming. They're both just time consuming options. And with the amount of time that I had, I kind of did a little bit of both, but I would say that the edit definitely saved a lot of those wrinkles in the end. The Amazon description says it's for a wedding or party backdrop, so maybe you already have something similar at home that you can use and sort of drape across a soft box or a strip box like this. And also, like I said, I had the 25 yard size. Definitely consider the size of the fabric you want to use. The size that I got, I feel like, did a great job at sort of draping on the ground a bit as well, because it's so big. So we were able to get some shots of the model laying down as well, which came out really cool. But maybe maybe for you, you want even more material to drape it even longer, or maybe you want a little less, it only falls down like halfway towards the model. I feel like for a future shoot, I want to get a few different colors that sort of all relate to one another and really try layering all of those together. And then for that draping effect, I just used some clamps. I had my friend help who works in wardrobe, so she was amazing at like knowing exactly where things can go. Today for this video, I did this one totally myself, so it might not look the best. I will say it definitely helps to have someone help you out with this part. But yeah, you'll definitely need those clamps. Again, I'll link below which clamps I like. I know I'm saying that a lot. So anything that you hear me say throughout this video, you can find down below. But you can also get really original with how you want to layer it as well. I opted for something that kind of falls across each of the sides equally, that sort of create this front curtain-like effect. And this way the model can sort of peek through and play with their posing. I feel like this is definitely the part that takes the most time, just maneuvering and playing around with how exactly you want it. From there, everything should be secure and connected to one another, so just double check everything is good. And then from there, raise it on a stand with a grip arm. And to offset the weight, I put a sandbag on the other side of that arm and also on the bottom as well, just to really lock it in place. Especially with this setup, I'm having a model stand underneath it, and I really don't want anything to go wrong where it maybe tips over or falls off or something isn't fully secure. That is like my worst nightmare. So a very much underrated thing to think about sometimes is making sure your setup feels secure with sandbags and the weight is sort of evenly placed. Sometimes I'll even like shake around my light stand a little bit. I don't know if that's bad to say, but just to make sure that like if anything were to hit it, nothing falls off and it feels really nice again and secure. So that concludes that one light, but now we're gonna talk about the second one that I used. And this one is totally optional because just that one light we previously talked about with the softbox strip box would technically be enough to light your model. But because I'm shooting with continuous light within my setups, I like to bring in a bit more light just so we don't have to boost our ISO too much and we can maintain some of that quality as well. So for that second light, I used a light from Newer. It is the HB80C. And onto that, I attached a reflector modifier to make it even brighter. And I just am sort of using this as a fill for some direct light onto the model, especially the face. And you can really put this wherever you'd like. I feel like as a backlight would be really nice as well. You can also attach on maybe an optical spot to the second light and go for something that's even more direct. And that's what I ended up doing on my first shoot with the brown fabric with Tina. Something to note also, I blacked out the studio as much as I could, so not a whole lot of natural light was pouring into the studio. And this combination really makes for some nice dramatic results. But in the end, it's all, of course, obviously how you want it to look. I mean, I really do appreciate all the love on these fabric shoots, and I'm so happy that it could inspire you guys to do something similar maybe. And just to give you even some more ideas, like it doesn't have to be draped over the softbox. Maybe you can do something where you're throwing it in front of the model. Oh my God, something also that I almost forgot that we used that was kind of key to the movement as well is using a big fan. So make sure to bring that along as well, or maybe again, it's in the studio that you're renting. For me, that was the case, so that was nice because you don't always want to bring and lug all of this stuff over, especially like a giant fan. Like I don't want to do that. So maybe you're someone who rents studios like me. I use PeerSpace to do that, and within every listing of each space that I'm renting, there will be a sort of gear list for things that they can provide to you. And sometimes little things like fans are extra money for you, but it's all, again, up to you how you wanna like invest into your shoots. But again, a fan is definitely super key here as well. But yeah, if you would like to see some more footage and more results from these fabric shoots, I'm always posting over on my Instagram. It's just @BrandonWolfel, so make sure to give me a follow if you aren't following me already. But I think that's everything. With all of that, I will see you guys soon. Bye.